Topic 17-2, volume of rectangular prism. Woohoo! Some more geometry and measurements, or measurement and geometry. Your essential question is, how can you determine the volume of a rectangular prism? So we're going to be learning about volume, and it's presented by, yes, your lovely teacher, Ms. Villaseñor. Let's do some learning. Volume of rectangular prism. Before I tell you what to do to figure out the volume is, what is volume? So if you see in your math book, it is the number of cubic units needed to fill a solid figure. Okay? It's to fill a figure. So let me give you a real world example. So let's say that you have an aquarium tank. And you need to know how many gallons of water do you need. So, of course you need to know the length and width and then the water depth. That means volume. How much water am I going to need? So, once you figure the volume up on your aquarium, then you can fill it up and place your beautiful fish in there and you're set. So that is your real world example. See, there's your wonderful aquarium. Anyway, going back to, well, how do I figure volume out when I have a figure? Okay, so in your math book, you have here under the visual learning, your definition, and here's the example that we're going to be solving. If we have a rectangular prism with these measurements, how do we figure the volume? Yes, we're going to need a formula to figure out the volume. So with these measurements here, the formula to how to find the volume, first we have to recall what is the formula for area of a rectangle. Remember, that is length times width. Okay, so think of that when we find the area of the base. So here's the formula. Base equals length times width. And the base we're talking about is this area here, right, which is the 14, times this here, which is the 6. Okay, so then we do base equals 14 times 6. And then we get the base equals 84 square centimeters. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now we have to find the height. And finding the height of the rectangular prism is this one here. Okay, so what measurement is that? 8 centimeters. Now, we're going to use, for the formula on how to solve volume, we're going to use the number from the base and the number from the height. So I'm going to erase some information here so I have some room to show you what we're going to do with this, and get ready to write the formula for volume. And I'm going to use yellow here. So to find volume is V equals base times height. V equals B times H. What is B in this case? 84 times, what is the height? 8. Okay, sorry, ignore that ring. They could wait. Anyway, what I was saying, we multiply the base times the height, 84 times 8. And we multiply that, and the volume equals 672 centimeters. But you have that little 3 that symbolizes cubic centimeters. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do another example before I let you do independent work. Okay, so I told you that the formula is V equals B times H, right? Volume times base times height. How do we get base again? Remember, that was length times width. Rewind this video if you don't remember that, but I did state that. and then multiply that by h. So you can use, you're going to get the same answer if you want to think about it as V, volume, equals length times width times height. Or you can have volume equals base times height. Okay? So you can use any of these, you will get the same answer. So we'll go ahead and do the problem here. Okay, here is our problem. We have a rectangular prism, and these are the measurements. Okay? And we just have to remember the formula and just plug in the numbers, and that is it, that easy. Okay? So I'm going to use this formula here, length times width times height, or you could use, remember, base times height, which means the same thing. But I'm going to go ahead and use that. So all I'm doing pretty much is just multiplying all these numbers here. Okay, we have my length, which is 7, times that 2, times the 3. Right? And so what's 7 times 2? 14 times that 2. Sorry, 7 times 2, 14 times 3 will give me 42 cubic meters. So remember, the symbol that represents cubic is that little 3. That's something new here. Remember, area would show the little symbol with 2. And then perimeter or circumference just has the measurement. Okay? So again, finding the volume is just plugging in the formula, which is the length times the width. Then you can multiply the height. I think you could do this. If not, again, go ahead and ask your teacher, your partner. Thank you.